here's my favorite thing. Ready? This is what we're gonna get calls on. People, if you want to gin up something against a movie, throw AI at it, and it's just another version of woke.
Well, in a certain,
it is. It's designed to get people up and angry.
I guess for me, it's how was the AI used?
Sure, but I'm saying,
And
but it's used as an epithet designed for one thing.
Sure,
and it's like, I hate it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. I am Mark. That is Ryan. Hey Ryan.
Hello.
So I didn't expect to carry as much weight into this discussion as we're about to. I think
Okay.
this movie's getting savaged, and we'll get to how you feel about it in a minute. But this movie is being absolutely savaged on the interwebs, and I'm like, Eli Roth. I mean, I don't try to follow people's non-professional lives, so I don't know if Eli Roth killed someone's puppy. I don't know what the hell happened, right? But apparently he's on the outs with a certain segment of people. Ice Cream Man is the movie in question. Opens tomorrow. That would be Friday, August 7th. Let's before we get into anything else, let's get this out of the way. Look, an idyllic summer town descends into madness when an ice cream man serves kids sweet delights with horrifying results. That's the tagline. That's the synopsis. Kids, I like kids in horror movies, and not just as running around screaming distractions. So that's Weapons was great. The end of Weapons was so entertaining.
Sure.
I love that. I think we need more of that. As a general rule, I think kids they should be involved in horror, because the world can be a horrific place. Look, I posted my written review on this Monday night after the embargo ended. I wasn't effusive about it, nor was I overly negative about it. I don't think. Well, I wasn't overly effusive about it. I know that.
Sure.
Look, what the hell's going on? And what did you want going in? What did you think going in? What do you think coming out? What the hell is up with this movie?
I haven't seen the other reviews or your review. I'll maybe look afterwards here. I think that my issue with Eli Roth is, and always has been, that he seems like a very intelligent person who has a fantastic grasp of the history of horror, but manages to make films that are empty of meaning. So he can talk about how important horror films and the subtexts and whatnot are, but for whatever reason, I would suggest that most, if not all, of his films are lacking in actual subtext or purpose.
So could we equate this in a more general thing then, as in those who can do, those who can't teach? He sounds like an academic then in your eyes.
I wouldn't want to take it quite to that extent. I don't want to say I think he gets distracted. I think that he goes for the jugular consistently, and in doing so, he undermines going for the jugular, if that makes sense. So
I like that. Let me try to wrap my head around it.
Yeah. So for me,
he always goes too far.
Yes.
As opposed to some directors we've talked about in other genres, Taika Waititi comes to mind, who refuses to go far enough.
Yes.
He veers.
And he doesn't pick his moments. They're all his moments.
I see. Okay. I
so I think at this point, I have no issue with children in horror films. I think particularly as protagonists, and if you want to turn it into where they're their actual menace, but I think you have to have a purpose or a meaning or something beyond the fact that it to a point, it's not as shocking anymore to have kids do terrible things. And in fact, we live in a world where kids actually do terrible things.
Yes, they do.
And so I guess for me, this film seems to think that having children do horrific, awful, violent things is enough to make it. I don't think it's really scary, but enough to make it whatever it's trying to be. And I guess that's part of the problem here is, horror films should scare you on some sort of level, whether that be a psychological level or just shock you into, whatever. But I think that there's nothing particular shocking about Ice Cream Man, except for the fact that it seems that Eli Roth thinks that it's shocking. If that makes sense.
No, I know, I get it. Like I said, that's why I wanted you to get it all out so I could wrap my brain about it. Look, I at the end I said I don't think it's especially bad, but it's extreme.
Yeah.
So it's bad. And the other thing I said in my written review is that I am shocked at the number of parents that allowed their child actors to do some of this movie.
Yeah, I think everyone probably had that. I sort of had that thought as well, because back in the day when they would have children be in horror movies, they would cut in a way so that the kids weren't actually doing the horrific stuff or weren't seeing the horrific stuff. In this film, it's very, very clear that the kids are not only seeing the horrific stuff, they are, in most cases, doing the horrific stuff.
Right.
And there's no workaround in it. So yes, there's that element. But it's funny because I think we shouldn't be thinking about the parents of the actors.
No.
Like if the film is effective enough, that shouldn't be what we're thinking about. And that's a risky run when you kind of push the envelope, I suppose. But I really don't know that this film is pushing the envelope in a way that's constructive.
I don't think. I agree with you in the sense that I'm having trouble articulating that sense. I think it's original in using the kids and presenting the kids this way and at this level. I think it's original in that. I don't know. I mean, the rest of it, I mean, I said the mythology of the film, it's just logical enough to hang the rest of the gore on.
Sure.
That's a lot of horrors like that.
Yeah.
It's just enough mythology to get you through. But I think its originality is in how far it's willing to go with the kids.
And
not necessarily anything else.
And for me, that's not enough. For me,
well, that's a separate argument, is whether it's enough.
Yeah, for me, it may have been shocking if it wasn't constant, because this, once the heads start rolling,
they never stop.
They never stop, and they keep rolling, and they keep rolling, and it's. I guess there is one moment where a parent does something that might, but that's what's interesting is it's the parent who makes the scene memorable. I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about, but
yeah, the
woman,
just drive.
Yes. Anyway, and it's interesting that's like one of the few scenes in the movie that I go, oh, okay, that might disturb me for a little while.
Yeah.
Because it is, it's intentionally disturbing, but it's actually disturbing.
Yeah.
And then that was interesting to me. I don't know that I would savage this film because I don't know that I had expectations that were much higher than, what I was given.
What you were expecting from a movie called
Yeah. Well, and from Eli Roth, and based on, I think, if you want to get to a point where I was disappointed by him, we go back to Hostel. And
I haven't watched them.
Okay. And the first one, I think, would have been more interesting if it was genuinely about ugly American tourists.
Right.
and how they're perceived in Europe and things like that. To me, that would have been more interesting than it being sort of a thing they dangled and didn't really go through with it.
Just
Um,
enough of mythology.
yes, just enough.
Just
Well,
enough.
the mythology is there's rich people who like to kill people.
Yeah.
That's essentially the mythology in that film. But so you know, and I just don't think that I was expecting more than really what was given on this. So it's hard for me to be overly upset.
Right.
Um, you know, it's interesting that this is all shot in daytime. This is not
Yeah.
a nighttime horror, so there's that element that is something, I guess. Um, I don't know, but like the ice cream smeared on the kids' faces,
Creepy.
it was creepy, but I don't know that it like completely worked for me. Like it felt like someone just smeared goop on their face and stuck a couple. I don't know. Anyway,
Sprinkle. Yeah, I no, I get it. Okay, so that's a makeup. We'll get to that. The other thing that this movie is being accused of, and I have not been able to confirm whether this is true.
okay.
So if someone can point me to an article or a statement or an interview that confirms or denies this, I would appreciate seeing it. That this being AI was involved in the making of this movie. Now, I have read that it has either there are whole AI sequences or there are a couple of scenes where little things were done. I don't know. And I don't know if any of that's true.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing, because now everyone now here's my favorite thing. Ready? This is what we're gonna get calls on. People, if you want to gin up something against a movie, throw AI at it. And it's just another version of woke.
Well, in a certain,
It is. It's designed to get people up and angry.
I guess for me, it's how was the AI used?
Sure, but I'm saying,
And
but it's used as
yeah,
an epithet designed for
sure,
one
sure,
thing,
sure.
and
It's
it's
yeah,
like I hate it.
you know, because if it's to a certain extent, AI has been involved in the uh, making of films for quite a while now.
Yep.
It's, you know, computer generated. A lot of the animated films you build, you know, I'm overgeneralizing this completely. Obviously, a lot of artists are involved, and it's, you know, generated initially by individuals who then allow a computer to help map out scenes and things and whatnot. Anyway,
Yeah.
AI to a certain extent has been involved to with a lot of making of a lot of films. So I would just say, what did he do? How did he use it? And you know, and the question becomes, does it bother you if someone lost a job over a computer doing something? Um, and there's a part of me that does get a little bothered by that, but there's also a part of me that says that's the world we're living in, literally,
Yeah.
and it's not just in art. And so maybe it should upset us because you know we technology has advanced to a point where we're becoming obsolete, um, and maybe art is an area where, you know, in theory, that because computers don't feel or they don't have that real human experience, maybe art is somewhere that should be
Right.
sacred. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, I'd have to see how it was used before I even had an opinion. And again, I don't know that this film is such that
That even if he used it, I don't know that you should be that upset about it.
I don't know. Yeah, I
So
don't
no,
know.
I hear you. Absolutely.
Um, so you know, generally speaking, I think that AI should be a collaborative sort of thing or can be a part of something. But if you're having AI do all the work, that is incredibly problematic if you're slapping your name on as directed and well, gosh. Okay, this is a much deeper conversation, I think, than
It
we're
is.
prepared to
I
have
know.
today.
We should put
Anyway,
together a panel on this.
yeah, you know, if you're using AI as a reader's room where it's bouncing ideas off and things, maybe that's okay. I don't know. Um, but then are you replacing a reading room? I don't. All right, it's
Yeah.
too much. Too much to go into.
Too much. Yeah. So
If he
anyway,
used,
if
if
someone
he
can point
used it,
us,
yeah. I mean, if you can say this is what he did, maybe I have an opinion on that. But ultimately, I'm judging the film just based on the film that he made, not
right.
how he made it. Um, And for me, it was kind of a meh,
Yeah,
you know.
like I said, I said I enjoyed it immensely, but I only enjoyed it because of the kids. Like I said, there are certain types of movies that I like to see. There are certain types of things I like to see in my movies. It's like I love it when the bad guys win. But it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's always like, yes, because the good guy doesn't always win. And sometimes the bad guy's gonna get away with it.
Sure.
Or whatever.
Well,
you know?
And but then there also becomes the question of, is he actually the bad guy?
Right. Sure. I mean,
Because of the way the story is, it sets him up. You know, there and it's not an original narrative sort of story point. It is very tropey, cliche that, you know, why is this happening? Well, it's because of the sins of our fathers. And I'm not revealing too much by saying
right,
that.
not in this. But again, so again, on this one, the reason I said I enjoyed it immensely is because of the kids.
Yeah.
It's absolutely because of the kids. If this is done even and I said, you know, kids, not teens. I don't even need to see a movie with teens. That wouldn't have
Well,
I
and
wouldn't have enjoyed the movie that much more.
There were a few in this and they weren't all that interesting.
Right. So if you do this movie but it's with teenagers, I'm not as excited about it.
It's even less interesting than I don't disagree with you there. I think there was something I think it reaches back, at least for me. Horror films were something that I experienced first when I was a kid of what many of the ages of the kids are in this film.
Right.
Your perception of the world is radically different. You can believe in good magic and bad magic, and I think that's important because you need to be able to believe in some of the absurdity that's going on here, like an ice cream man who there are horror stories about. There are true horror stories about. Anyway, but the idea that an ice cream man can be more than just an ice cream man, you know, and as a kid, that's something you could dream up. And so it makes sense that, you know, that's mostly about kids. I don't know. I'm not passionate enough about this film to hate it. I can't get all that worked up about that.
No, we've had a lot of films like that where it's like it's there.
You know, and it's not that certain films that I can't get worked out. There are certain films that I get worked up about and leave this conversation and want to throw things. This is not one of this is not one of those films, because just for me it was kind of what I expected it to be once I saw what the premise was, and once we got, you know, a half hour into it, it was like, okay, I kind of know where this is going to go, so let's just see if that's where it goes. And
it did. And let's you got a half hour and the movie's only 86 minutes, which means the movie's only 75 minutes and in credits.
Yeah. And a post-credit scene. Sort of. Well, scene, yes.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. World building could have been done. I don't think he wanted to do it. I think you're right. Maybe that's a weakness of his. I'm not immersed in his. I keep meaning to go watch Cabin Fever because I feel like I might enjoy that particular one. I feel like that's closer to my sensibilities than say Hostel. But like I said, I'm not immersed enough to know if that's his thing or not, or if that's his downfall, his lack of world building, I guess. So, but like I said, I enjoyed it mostly because it was about the kids and their level of involvement. That was where I got my joy. And I know that it's going to sound terrible.
Well, and I mean,
I don't care for a movie.
There is an element too about the element of safety being taken away. That is, you know, somewhat shocking. I mean, that's one of the reasons why some of the, I think it was Dawn of the Dead, that it got such a reaction because you had sort of things where family members were attacking family members. And that was just such something that, you know, that was crazy. That was the scariest thing, to think that your husband could turn into a zombie and attack you. That was, you know, but that was the world then, and it's radically different now, where I think we all think that anyone's capable of turning into a monster at this point. Even us. Yeah.
us. Everyone's a monster to somebody else.
Yeah, a pair of movie critics who hunt down their trolls. And
There you go.
anyway, you heard it here. Don't steal it.
Right. Copyright Visually Study Movie Podcast 2020.
There you go. That's right. I think I might actually allow one of our compatriots to write that. I think I might let Caitlin write that one.
Oh, there you go.
That would stir up a little more controversy
With her POV, yes.
Yes.
So there you go. So okay, so Ice Cream Man, you're just kind of there on it.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I enjoyed it for a very specific reason. Again, if someone out there can point me to an AI clarification, I would appreciate it personally, just to get, wrap my head around that. But other than that, it's like, yeah, it's I'm telling you, dude, it is just being raked over the coals. And I'm just like, dang. I said, I've been opposite people sometimes, but that's crazy.
Well, unfortunately, there may be a political position.
What?
I don't know what his political ideology is, or
that seems to be everyone's first go-to.
But for me, I was just watching a movie and judging the movie based on that rather than any noise that may have been around it. Because quite frankly, I didn't realize the film was coming out until you said. I mean, I knew it was coming out eventually, but you said, "Hey, it's Friday," and so I grabbed the link and watched it and did absolutely no homework, which is sometimes the best way to do things.
Yep. I didn't do any homework either. So that's, we try to do that just so we can watch the film for what it is.
Yeah.
What is on the screen. Things are presented in a certain way, and that's how you should watch them.
Well, there'll be people who hate the film simply because it's children doing violence, which.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure that offends
abilities. And maybe, and if that offends you, this film is absolutely not for you.
No, definitely not for you. So there you go. So that is Ice Cream Man in theaters tomorrow, August 7th. Next week we're screening I want to say the name, but I don't want to ruin it, but it's a movie that I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it should be good.
The trailers aren't as convincing as I would like them to be.
Correct. There you go. And I know we say we try not to watch trailers, but we can't avoid.
I have seen the trailer for this particular film more than any other trailer this year. So.
Yeah, right. Even Spider-Man. I managed to avoid most of Spider-Man.
I think I avoided all. Maybe no. I think I probably saw one. So, but this has been a trailer that's been all over the place.
Yeah. So we'll see if that's any good. That's Monday night, so we'll see if we enjoy that. So, but in terms of Ice Cream Man, there you go. Ryan's ambivalent. I like it for a specific reason. Make your own decision. Let us know where you fall on the spectrum. Till we talk to you again, don't forget to like us, follow us on social media. Go to the website, vsmoviepodcast.com. Get links to all of our stuff there. Let us know how we're doing wherever you watch it. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. That would be great as well. Until we talk to you again, be good. Stay safe. I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
See you, folks.
And we'll talk to you all later.